Congratulations on Rules Don't Apply.
Thank you.
It's such a fascinating story about the Golden Age's, biggest power players. I was just wondering if you could talk us through the story a bit and who you play in the film.
I play Marla Mabry from Virginia, who is a young woman coming to Los Angeles to become a Hollywood star, and she comes with her mom. And it's through her experience in Hollywood with the eccentric billionaire Howard Hughes and her driver, played by Alden Ehrenreich, whether she finds the Hollywood dream or not, and the unexpected road bumps along the way that she encounters.
Marla's quite a naive character, but she's incredibly headstrong. Was this something that attracted you to the role?
Definitely. I think she's been very sheltered and, like you said, naive ever since she was younger. But she's had a strong passion for what it is that she wants to do. She knows where she's headed. She knows she can do it. And she's not very good at being told no. And that's something that I could relate to. Starting out quite young, knowing what it is that I wanted to do, I thought passion would take me there alone. And both of us are very tenacious young women who aren't afraid to show when we're not as knowledgeable and learn from others, so I really admire that in her.
She's very strong-willed in the film, but also she's not afraid to show her vulnerability. Is that something that attracts you as well? Because it's quite rare for a character to be able to do that.
Yeah, I liked her character arc in the sense that she thinks she knows it all, and then she goes to this breaking point where she has to just break down in order to move forward, and she's not afraid to do that. And I think asking for help is never a weakness. And I think it was great to play a young woman who, like you said, gets to play this strength and tenacity and passion, yet at the same time a real vulnerability. And she gets to show that with the guy that she loves. Doesn't know she loves him yet, but she likes him a lot. And it doesn't deter her from still going after what she wants. It doesn't mean that she's weak now all of a sudden, it just means she's human.
And with roles in kind of To the Bone and Love Rosie and now Rules Don't Apply, it seems you have a tendency to kind of choose strong-willed characters who are determined to fight for a better life. Is this something you'd agree with?
Yeah, definitely. Even in Mirror Mirror with Snow White, you take a character like that and you think you know so well as this magical character. And she also was just trying to fight for what she believes in and for a better life for herself and for her friends. And, I never want to just be a girl in a story. I think that there has to be an incredible character arc and journey that she goes on. And with these particular women, to get to show lots of different facets of their personalities is really important. And sometimes playing a mom, sometimes playing someone fighting for life or death. And it's all in those moments that define how they grow into a young woman and the kind of life that they want and how they become who they are.
Yeah. And during the film, we kind of see Marla trying to navigate Hollywood amid loads of temptations and also manipulation from Howard and perhaps her mother. Are these factors that kind of resonated with you as a young woman in Hollywood, kind of going through the industry yourself at a young age?
Well, like Marla and her mother, I'm really, really close with mine, and my mom would drive me to auditions and kind of hang around in the hallways. But I never really was the partier, going out, it wasn't really my vibe.
And there's a lot of pressure, I'd say, in the film for Marla to live up to everyone's expectations, to be chaste, to be, religious, to be perfect. And there's a lot of scrutiny about her weight or what she wears. Is this something that it resonates as well with you? Because there's a lot of pressure on her to be something, a specific identity. Do you find that as well?
I definitely think, when she was starting out, there were these rules and regulations that she thought were what made Hollywood women the women that they were, the way they dressed, how big their boobs were, the hair and makeup that they had. And the character that Alden plays, it says to her, well, those rules don't apply to you. Sometimes it's situational and you don't have to be like everybody else. Well, I too, not even just because I was in the industry, but as a young woman growing up, you do set these standards for yourself about what it is that is perfect and what is perfection and how can I reach perfection. And the older you get, and I know I'm still not old, but the older you get, you go, what is perfection? And I definitely felt the struggles there, but I think they were struggles mostly put on by myself, and that's where a lot of pitfalls can, come into play with body issues and eating disorders and all that kind of stuff that really are quite prevalent among young people, no matter what industry they're in. But I think once you realize that there is no such thing as perfect, it starts to kind of literally take a weight off your shoulders because you can just be who you are, and being you is enough.
And I recently read something, it was 17 things you wish you'd known at 17. I was just wondering, what words of wisdom would you impart on Marla or young girls of her age?
Well, don't take no as no, this isn't for you. Take it as no, not right now. Because there's always a way in which to turn a no into a yes in some format. Not saying you're gonna like knock doors down, but at the same time you can always at least learn from a situation of having a door slammed in your face. You're gonna turn that into something good. And I do believe that everything happens for a reason, because sometimes the thing that feels like it's the end of the world at the moment turns out to be a blessing because you didn't get that job, but then this thing opened up, or you met someone after you broke up with this person. You know, there's always a way in which something can be turned into something good.
And talking of opportunities, you had the opportunity to sing in the film. I was just wondering how that was for you, because did it worry you? Were you excited to sing in it?
Definitely nerve-wracking, but I'd always wanted to do it in a movie because I love singing, and it's kind of the perfect marriage of singing and acting to be able to do it at once. I'd love to do musical theater as well. I started doing that when I was younger, but this was great because we did it live, so I didn't have to match a track. I got to really live and breathe in the moment with Alden, and if my voice cracked, it was fine because Marla would have been really nervous as well, and I kind of made it work. But it was really fun, and I got to experiment with it and, you know, have a song play on the radio. I was like, this is so crazy.
Seeing it live as well, because you could tell it was live. It was so beautiful because it was so natural and so organic.
And I kept going back to the concept that Marla is a songwriter, not a singer. So it was like, it wasn't supposed to be perfect. I just had to sound passionate.
Which is kind of like the rules don't apply. You don't have to be perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
And I can't not ask you about your Instagram post yesterday.
Which one was it?
The Michelle, or was it 2 days ago?
The Michelle Obama one, right.
How was it to have Michelle
God.
Obama sending you a letter to thank you for
that was
Unfiltered?
crazy. I just had, I look up to her. I find her so inspiring, and I know she has 2 daughters, and I just thought, well, I'll send the book, because why not? Never thought that she'd actually receive it, let alone read it, let alone ever reply. So when I received this letter, which I'm definitely gonna frame, I was just so excited, and it was a huge honor for me, and really to have her support and that letter means the world, because I wrote this book in order to start conversations about things that girls consider quite taboo, to start conversations about, all those things. And the more I've received from other people, the more open they've been to me. I've been given the gift of, like, you're not alone, you're not alone, you're not alone. And I did it for other people, but I didn't know I'd still be getting it back myself. So for me to receive that kind of support I just would never have thought that I'd talk about things like that I was so shameful of when I was younger.
Yeah, and then the former First Lady too.
And then the former First Lady to support it. I was like, wow, what a great Monday.